In our recent videos, we've been looking at creating a form with HTML. We've looked at a variety of different types of tags that we can use, such as a label, the input, drop-down menus, radio buttons, checkboxes, etc. However, one thing we don't have at this point is a way to actually submit the form. And submitting the form is the process of when we take the data that a user has entered and send it to the form processor. Now, the form processor will do any number of things depending upon what the purpose of the form is. Maybe it'll take some information and it'll email someone. Maybe it'll store it into a customer relationship management system. Or maybe it'll let you log in or make an order purchase for an e-commerce site or any number of different things. So what we need to do is have a way to submit the form. That's what we're going to look at right now. And we're not going to look at using JavaScript to submit. We're going to use a regular form button. So here's our previous form that we've created. You see all different things with it. Now we want to add those buttons. So I'm going to come after the text area, and I'm going to put a new line break just to simplify things a little bit. And I'm going to put a button. Now, the question is, what type of button do I want to put? So I could put an input tag of type, and I actually have a button type. If I reload this, you say, well, it's a button, but there's nothing really there. And you're right. There's a few things that we have to do with this. And one of the things that we're going to need to do is give it a value. So we'll call it my button. And when we do that, you'll see that, oh, here's the text. But buttons inside of HTML don't do anything by themselves. This would be used to attach some JavaScript to, and then we could go and do something different. Not what we're wanting. Luckily, there is a type submit. And if you think about what that's going to do, is it's going to submit our form, and that's what it was designed for. I also have another button I can put in. That's called reset. And for my value, I'm going to put in now when I reload, if I submit, it's going to try to go to a file. Now this file can't be found because I'm working on a local system and not a server, and that file doesn't exist. So that's to be expected. However, if I come in here and I change a couple of values real quick, I say it's Fred, how long you've worked with us. I'm going to do 5. I'm going to change to marketing, etc., etc. And I click to reset this form. You notice it's going to go back to all the defaults. So submit sends our form information to the server. Reset sets it back to the defaults. And a lot of people really don't like that. I have more than once because someone put reset first and I was thinking submit would be first, or vice versa. I've accidentally hit the reset button. Sometimes people put the buttons and they're right next to each other and you can accidentally click on it. So from a usability standpoint, while reset makes sense, I recommend not using it because it's easy to go oopsie. It's better to say, oh, I'm going to click on a different link and use something in the navigation bar, something like that, to go away. But a lot of people don't like to use the submit button anymore. So instead, we have a button tag. It has a closing tag, and anything inside of that tag is what you're going to see. If I reload this, you can see now it says submit this form. I have kind of a default submit button with a little default hover effect, and that's nice. If I click on a button and I don't have some JavaScript attached to it, you're going to see that's going to try to go to my form processor, just as you see here. Now, once again, that file doesn't exist, and so I'm getting this 404 error. But it's trying to submit because the button is inside of a form. If I'm not inside of a form, I can use a button tag and some JavaScript to provide a variety of different types of functionality and features to my web page. Because we're not looking at JavaScript, we're not going to worry about that at this point. We're just going to worry about getting the form working. And that's a real basic way of how we can do that.